This is Wassim from Who Killed Bruce Lee. My name is Vincent and you are watching Eventernet, your event on the internet. Have fun.
Perfect.
Nice to meet you. Nice that you are here in Göttingen.
Nice to meet you too.
How was your traveling?
A very long train.
Very long train, yeah,
yes. Right. I think where was our train from? Munich.
Munich. Oh, nice.
So good 5-6 hour train to Göttingen.
But you got enough sleep and now you're fit and everything goes good.
Yeah. Like you rarely, I think when you're on tour, you rarely get to sleep well.
Yeah.
But this was a good amount of sleep, like good 8 hours. It was perfect.
And you have already seen a lot of Göttingen, or is it? Or you had
to
no
be
time?
very honest with you,
Yeah.
I've just seen, I think, the main space here,
right.
like the middle of the city.
Okay.
And we've went around a bit by cab to go to Stadtradio.
Yeah, right, Stadtradio.
Yeah, so,
right.
I've probably seen more of Göttingen than a lot of other cities that I visited already, which is good.
Yeah, which is good, but not a lot, right?
Yeah. Maybe like if we don't end up going to Hamburg tonight, maybe I can have dinner here and just discover the city a bit. We'll see.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
So you're here because you are starting a tour with your band,
Yes.
Who Killed Bruce Lee.
Yep.
And it starts on the 26th of February.
True.
In the Exil here
25th,
in
actually.
25th actually.
Yeah.
All right.
25th, no? 25th of Feb.
25th
In
of February.
Göttingen, and 26th, I think it's Berlin on the 26th.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah.
That's right.
25. Göttingen, 26. Berlin.
That is our planet. All right.
It's perfect.
So,
okay.
so we're talking this again.
More controversy. It's good.
Right.
No, actually keep it. It's
Okay,
more like it's
keep
controversial.
it.
It's cool.
Okay. And on the 26th or 25th, you released your album, Distant Rendezvous.
On the 26th?
26th,
Exactly,
right,
yes.
in Berlin, right. And the people in Göttingen, will they receive your album too, or just the people in Berlin?
No, definitely not. I'm guessing like there's a reason for the actual launch being in Berlin because our publishing, Sony's there, and Rough Trade, and a lot of the different partners that we have are in Berlin situated. So it makes sense to start it there. But of course, when we're here on the 25th, people will have the chance to buy the album from us because we'll have it with us as merchandise. So technically, it's being launched in Göttingen. Technically,
but
officially, paper and stuff like that, it's Berlin. Not because of the city, just because of a lot of different contributors to the album are there in Berlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I read about your band and about your genre, what you're doing, I read something about indie electro dance rock.
Yeah.
So that's a genre, or why do you put a lot of those words in?
Because
in this,
the problem
style.
The problem is like not the problem actually, but the interesting thing is that when you grow up in a city like Beirut, which is a very cosmopolitan city. You tend to have so many different influences, and then when we were typing that in, when the website or whichever social media platform asked us to insert a genre, probably we had no fucking clue what to say.
Okay.
So we're like,
a lot of
everything there.
That's nice.
Yeah, but technically it's just.
But if you sum it up, what is it?
It's rock. It's rock music, but with a dance twist for sure.
Okay.
Like, and I think especially on the new album, if you look through the track list.
Here,
yes.
Maybe.
If you look through the track list.
Ooh, wait.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
And this is the mini-me. Technically, like, if you go through the track listing of the album, you will find that there's a lot of very heavy rock tunes and a lot of other heavy dance tunes, but in general, it's rock and roll, you know, and sometimes it's dancey, sometimes it's rocky, sometimes it's very down tempo, and it differs, you know, because especially I told you, like coming from a place like Beirut, we're hit with so many different influences,
and you combine it all in the music, right?
Yeah, because if I have a feeling that if you live in UK. The trend in UK is so powerful that influences you a lot. Or if you live in New York, the trend in New York is very powerful and influences you a lot. So you have these waves, I'm guessing, of a lot of different trends that go through these cities, and a lot of different musicians follow them. But if you live in a place like Beirut, you get a bit of UK, a bit of New York, a bit of Beirut.
I find it nice.
Yeah, of course.
You combine everything, and for everyone there's something.
Yeah.
And who can listen to it, right?
Of course, of course.
So let's come to your band name. I think when someone hears the title or your band name, Who Killed Bruce Lee? Man, who killed Bruce Lee? I think he wasn't killed, right?
I think it's a controversy.
Okay.
And probably like a lot of other characters that were very important, like JFK, for example.
Yeah.
It's also a controversy, but the idea, I think, behind the name is a very old story and very old metaphor that existed in Beirut when we were kids. We used to boast with how powerful our fathers were.
Okay.
You know, like my father can kick your father's ass.
Right,
or my father was in the army. My father has a bigger gun, stuff like that. And I guess we were playing that game again when we were very, very much older, and there was a lot of drinking on that night probably.
Okay.
And then one of the guys, our drummer Malik, he said, "Yeah, you know what? My father killed Bruce Lee because
oh man,
that's like incredible."
Right.
Yeah. So like we laughed, and it was about the same time that the band was coming together, and we were like, that sounds like a very interesting name, like Daddy Killed Bruce Lee. And then
was it the first name or?
Yeah, it was like it was the name for probably 16 seconds, and then we realized that maybe not so much with the daddy, you know.
Yeah, right.
So and then that's where the name came from.
That would be my next question. When did you come together, and how long is it ago?
Around 4 or 5 years ago, we started playing together. And first of all, originally it was a cover band for a lot of different bands that we liked and loved.
Okay.
And it would be so interesting to get into the minds of these bands and figure out how they made their sounds and try to extract that from a few pedals that you have or the singing range and all of that. So it makes you get into a place where you do that exercise and you become very diverse as an artist. And then at some point, I think 2-3 years later, we kind of naturally progressed into, hey, we want to write our own tunes.
Okay.
And from there, we released the first EP, of 5-track EP, I think in 2013, like around 2 years ago. And it's been a constant update from then to get here today with a full-fledged album.
I mean, like it's your first album, right? And
Yes.
Are you nervous because of the release? Will it come? Will everyone enjoy it, or what are you thinking?
I'm not nervous. Maybe a bit more excited to actually figure out how it's going to do. And so far, it's been very, very, very good. And the German market here has been very good to us, from the promoters to the people in the show. We've heard nothing but like good, very positive, very good feedback from everybody, and we're excited to be on tour again because the 11 concerts we did last year in 11 different cities here were really incredible, and the vibe from the people was really something.
And now you're doing how many concerts?
In 2016, like hopefully more than 100.
More than 100.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. This is a long tour, right?
Yeah, it's like Germany, mostly Germany, and then Austria, Switzerland a bit.
I heard of Europe tour, more like
yes,
Denmark.
and towards the end of the year we go into Denmark, UK,
That's
France,
incredible.
and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So we have a very cool management that's really helping us out, and I think we found them very interesting because they're unconventional. They're like your old school type of management, you know, where they take a few projects that they really like and they push them forward instead of taking like having a portfolio of 500 projects and just treating every one of them like a number.
That's a good concept.
Exactly.
I read they had Nevada, Robbie Williams. A lot of them were at the.
They worked with a lot of great people because they've been around for more than 30 years, I think. And then we found them very interesting because of that. We met them in Paris, and they found us very interesting.
What a coincidence.
They came to our show in La Boule Noire in a street called Pigalle Street in Paris that has a lot of the concert venues. So they met us there. They found us interesting, and it was like a mutual love child. This project.
Yeah, that's how it's born. I would
Yes.
say. Let's talk about the title, Distant Rendezvous.
Yeah.
Is your album called? Where comes the name from?
It's actually a track of the album, which is track 3, and the use of English and French words is a bit. It resembles a bit the way we converse. The way we converse in Lebanon, because we're heavily educated from the English side and from the French side as well, and our Arabic is obviously very good.
Yeah.
So we kind of mix and match languages when
like
we're
the
talking.
dance, like the genre style, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like we mix and match language. So something like Distant Rendezvous comes naturally. So for us, it's very natural to mix both languages, and what it actually talks about is the golden ages of our city, the golden ages of Beirut and Lebanon in general, which a lot of these tracks talk about here. Because really it's very inspiring to grow up in a city like that.
Yeah, it would be my question too, like how many impacts are in your songs about the civil war or like or Beirut in general, the politicians, or the politics?
At some point you get to a point where we want to stop talking about something like that, because number one, it's a very overrated cliche,
right.
And number two, it's something that it's something that everybody else is talking about, the news and stuff like that. So maybe you wanna talk about other things, and
right.
I think it was never about putting a piece of paper on the side and being like, hey guys, let's talk about these subjects.
Yeah.
I think it all came naturally.
Yeah.
And Beirut is a bit, because I'm not talking about the entire Lebanon, because we spent 90% of our time in Beirut actually. And Beirut is like Berlin, if I want to compare like a city in Germany, but with a lot of pluses not being so positive, just extras, like add to Berlin the stress of an unstable economy, unstable political instability. Add to it all the problems we have in our city. Add to it the Arab Spring that's happening all around us. So if you add all of that together, it's just a very fast-paced city that is that has a lot of culture and has a lot of different things to offer. Yeah. And so obviously a lot of our tracks, some of them talk about relationships, others talk about
but it's more
civil
like
war.
on a meta way, like not precisely about war because it's not important right now. It's more important that we do music.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't call it a civil war. Actually, it's not really a civil war.
Okay, pardon me.
No, don't worry about it. That's the way it's perceived by everybody, and that's the way it's marketed. Actually, you know. But it's not really civil war. It's probably like the rich against the poor, which is like the same wars everywhere else in the world. You know. But the idea is that there are some stuff that talk about like jungle, for example. It talks about a lot of the politics that's going on in Lebanon and a lot of the corruption that's going on in Lebanon, and so we sometimes get the feeling that we live in a fucking jungle, you know, where there are no rules, there's nothing that's happening. It's a very Lebanon is a how can I say this? Is an organized chaos. Okay. You know, a very organized chaos. So and then you have things like Mastercraft that actually talk about the Industrial Revolution and how that, but maybe in the way we see it, you know. So a lot of different subjects on the album. A lot of the lyrics, for example, they come when they come in certain situations or certain circumstances. It's never about today is time to write a song, so I have to think of a lyric. No. It's more of like exactly. It's more like it comes naturally, and then you're in a certain situation, and then you feel like, you know what, I could sing about this because it's a very interesting topic for me to be able to brainstorm about with the rest of the band. And we get together and we start writing, and it's incredible. But Elvis, for example, is about this idea like the average Joe having enough balls to approach a woman that he really finds super hot or super sexy, and having enough courage to go tell her that you're gonna be mine.
Yeah.
You know, tonight, tomorrow, I don't know, you're gonna be mine.
Yeah.
And then the thought occurred that, like, the worst, actually the most aggressive state in that kind of situation would be trying to hit on Elvis's woman. Because
And
like
you're dead.
exactly
Yeah.
because like or then you have to kill him in order to take the woman away, because like who in the right mind would want to hit on Elvis's woman, you know?
Yeah, right.
He's the king, so you don't go there. But sometimes you have these small, like, how can I say this,
It's a
small
funny
dreams.
idea, or-
like you have these small awake dreams where you feel like, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I think I can do that. I think I can do that. But anyway, so it's not really, doesn't really talk. Of course, I love Elvis, and
I mean, it's rocky. It sounds a little bit like Elvis if you play the song.
yeah, maybe,
I think.
maybe
a little bit. Yeah.
So it's dancey. It's rock and roll.
Yeah, right. It's indie electro dance rock, right?
Very much. In the electro dance rock, dancehall, reggae.
Yeah.
You call it.
Yeah. So let's do a little prediction. Where do we find Who Killed Bruce Lee in 5 years?
In 5 years, maybe married with kids. I don't know. No, but hopefully on their third album. If it continues this way, hopefully like keep the inspiration going,
And
keep
all around
writing.
the world, right? I mean, you have
I hope so.
you have a good start, and
There's
I
a
think
very
it
good.
could be big.
There's a very good. Our management has a very cool strategy for the band. The first year being heavily focusing on Europe.
Yeah.
Second year is branching out into maybe the US, and maybe the third year branching even out more into the Far East and something like that. But so, you know, plans change according to situations. But
Right.
in general.
I mean, you have this master plan, and then you.
Yeah, and then you
see
try
what
to follow it.
happens, right?
And in general, the important thing is that key players in the industry are finding the band worthwhile, and that is something that normally doesn't happen to a band from Lebanon or Beirut. So this is all very new to us.
Yeah.
It's not like we're following in other people's trail. This is all very
It's
new,
like-
and we're discovering it for the first time. So we're making a lot of mistakes, and we're discovering a lot of interesting and cool stuff. So
you learn it, right?
yeah, along the way, it's like the journey has been amazing so far, and I think it's going to be more hectic in the future, but beautiful nevertheless.
Yeah, I think it's very nice to see how you're developing and where you're going, and
Exactly.
I will look on you
Follow us.
and follow you.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So now you have the possibility to speak free to the audience if you want to greet someone or.
I just want to
we can.
thank. I just want to thank the guys that are not here, Malik, Pascal, and Hasib, the other 3 members of the band. I also want to talk to the people of Göttingen and tell them that they should really check the band out on the 25th in Exile. How do you say it? Exile?
Right, Exile, right.
Okay. I think we would have probably a super wonderful night together. It's a very special date for us because it's the first day of the tour. So looking forward to see a lot of you there.
Yeah, perfect. I'll be there, and we see you out there.
See you.
Have a nice time.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
Thanks.